meeting in order. Pam, could I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Henning,
Present.
Commissioner Parks,
Present.
Commissioner Rowland,
Attending.
Commissioner Ware,
Here.
Commissioner Watson,
Believe excused.
Yeah, I do that.
Commissioner Welling,
Present.
Commissioner Wilson.
Believe excused.
Okay, can we stand and do the pledge of allegiance? All veterans, you can salute the flag, breath into a heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to get a motion to excuse President Wilson and member Lee Watson.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Have it. Can I get a motion for approval of the agenda? So moved. Second. It's been moved and second. Approval of the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Public comments. Any public comments?
Mr. Vice President, at this time, I just want to recognize some of our two new employees onto the commission. They actually started closely after our last board meeting last month. First, we have Ray Haratzika, who comes to us from a logistics company. She's an Army veteran. Ray, if you want to stand up, just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Veronica. I am a Ohio National Guard veteran, Army National Guard veteran, and I'm happy to be here.
She's our new veteran service officer.
Yes, I forget it.
Happy to
Sorry.
have you forward.
Yes. We have Dick Castillo. He is unfortunately a Navy veteran.
Because he's so far, no, we're happy to have Sure, in our face. Here.
He comes from the Navy Reserve Center. Dick, want to say hello as our new financial service officer, representative.
Good morning, my name is Dick Castillo, 7 years active duty, United States Navy. My last 18 years, I spent them over at the Navy Research Center in Cincinnati here. I worked on the reservists on the Marine side and the Navy side, so I'm happy to be here, part of the team.
Thank you, Dick.
Well,
Glad to have you. And the last introduction is we got informed by the Court of Common Pleas in Hamilton County late yesterday afternoon that there is a new AMVETS commissioner that's been appointed. That's Colonel Steve Breitfelder. He's Ohio Air National Guardsman. His first board meeting will be the July 9th meeting. Colonel Breitfelder, retired, is also serving currently as Assistant Fire Chief for Cincinnati Fire Division, the one here downtown. So we're happy to have him. I think he's set to retire from the fire department at the end of this year. Yes, so we'll have him at the July 9th. We'll issue a press release from our office. In fact, Jenny Dexter, our communications coordinator, has one already ready to go. We'll issue it after today's board meeting.
great, great. Good job, good job. Okay, number 6, approval of the minutes. Have everybody read the minutes and any questions about the minutes? If not, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of May 21st, 2025?
So moved.
I'd like to get a roll call on that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, Commissioner Henning,
Yes.
Commissioner Parks.
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Ware,
Yes.
Commissioner Welling.
Yes.
Signing.
Okay. All right, fine, everyone. Okay. Old business. We have a veteran cemetery program. I'd like to turn the floor over to our director.
Yeah, Mr. Vice President, this is a continuation of the conversations we had earlier this year and also later half of last year regarding a potential new program for our Veteran Service Commission. It's modeled after really the only Veteran Service Commission that I know of in the state that's actually taken this on. That's Montgomery County. As many of you are already aware, under the Ohio Revised Code, Title 59 says that the duty and responsibility for maintaining veteran cemeteries and grave sites within the county falls on the Board of County Commissioners. Well, what Montgomery County has done is that they have a long-standing agreement with their Board of County Commissioners and the Veteran Service Commission. The Veteran Service Commission has actually taken on that responsibility. And a natural fit, because of our mission set in supporting the veterans, they've also taken upon themselves to support the mission, not just in maintaining veteran grave sites, but also the monuments, the veteran monuments and memorials. So what I've done in the last 6 months, that the team and I have done, is created a draft memorandum of understanding with our Board of County Commissioners on our Veteran Service Commission taking that on. I understand that it was probably 3 meetings ago where the board asked for additional information from the county as to how this could work. I've met with the budget office and we've collaborated on this. Basically, it is exactly what Montgomery County has done. In exchange, we would ask for additional financial support from the general fund to support this mission. Montgomery County, I've been made aware, has a limit of $25,000 every year that they put towards this program. We're asking for the same. Is $25,000 be then marked out of our fund to then support this mission for maintaining these grave sites? If there is a project that a cemetery asks, first and foremost, the steps that the cemetery would have to take, as outlined in this memorandum, is they would first have to make sure that their municipality is first asked for support. So if they're within a township or a city, that they'd be asked to support. If they can't support or they need additional support, then they come to us, the county, Veteran Service Commission, for additional support. If there's a project that exceeds the $25,000, then we'd work with the cemetery to apportion out the project over the course of years so that we don't use up the entire $25,000 on just one project, okay? I've also met with Colonel Todd Mayer, who is a retired Army colonel. He lives in Anderson Township. He's affiliated with a number of cemeteries already. He stands up volunteer groups that actually goes to these cemeteries already. And they meet, on a Saturday morning with equipment. And it really doesn't take that much, according to Colonel Mayer, a bottle of some water with solution on it. He shows what the cleaning process looks like for a gravesite to the team, and then the team gets dispersed out. And it takes about 1 minute to 2 minutes to just scrub the marker with a brush, and then it's clean and it's air dried. So we could do something like that, to where a member of our team would be tasked as an additional duty to operate this program, solicit volunteers working with the outreach department, and we get it done. So that's what I present to you today in response to your questions from 3 months ago.
Are you asking for a vote for that today for the approval of $25,000?
Yes, I'm asking for a vote to formalize this agreement and submit it to the county for them to render their decision on whether to accept.
I'd like to get a motion on the Veteran Cemetery Program.
So moved.
I'll second. Been moved and second. Roll call, Pat.
Discussion, sir.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the same budget as Montgomery County. We're larger than Montgomery County, right?
Yes.
So,
Well, correction, the new numbers have come out. Montgomery County now exceeds our numbers by about 3,000 veterans. So, yes. So every county's numbers have gone down, Commissioner, but Montgomery County now has 39,000 veterans. We're hovering about over 36,000.
so this money will be used
Yes,
for things like cleaning supplies.
yes,
We're not hiring anybody.
correct. This would not require a,
Okay, what about cemeteries that need to be owned?
so that is not within the scope of work because it's specific to the actual grave markers, memorials and monuments.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll discuss that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Roll call, Pat.
Okay. Commissioner Hadden,
Yes.
Commissioner Parks.
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Ware,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Okay, next on the agenda is Save a Warrior. This advance came to the board before, and I'm gonna turn it over to our director on this. And then I'll discuss about this myself.
Okay.
Okay.
As a Vice President, this is there was a motion to approve support for Save a Warrior Foundation that's located in Northern Ohio. It is a trauma camp-style treatment program, about a 72-hour program where veterans can show up and get treatment. It's very collaborative. It's meant to be very high intensity in the standpoint that they're trying to get treatment within a 72-hour overnight stay. So this was presented by the director of Save a Warrior, Suzette Heller, to the board last year, right around Q3. She'd asked for support from this commission. There was then subsequent discussion by the board at that time to support Save a Warrior up to $15,000 to cover 3 seats. Each seat is about $5,000 for a veteran. And then it would be specific to only Hamilton County veterans that are seeking this assistance. Right around the Q4, beginning of Q4, the board then voted to table this to next year due to the ongoing budget process that was happening for 2025. So here we are in 2025. What has changed is our new sponsorship ask policy that we implemented in Q1, to where an entity like Save a Warrior would now have to go through a formal process that would go through the outreach department for support. It's now capped to the lesser of $10,000 or 50% of the total cost of the sponsorship ask. So that's where we find ourselves. And I leave it up to the board on whether to A, even support this mission, B, if it is going to support the mission, how to support it, whether we'll have to have them go through the sponsorship policy that now stands, or that an exemption be granted because this was already introduced to the board last year, but pending your questions.
I have something to elaborate on that. You know, I have discussed this and looked at this, and one of the things, the VA offered the same service for you. And it's more in-depth with post-traumatic stress on this. And my thing is, you know, they want us for 3 veterans in Hamilton County, but the money goes for Indiana, Kentucky, and then it's for first responders too. And my thing is, why would we support something that the VA offers free to veterans? And it's a long, in-depth program. It's not 72 hours. It's a 7-day program. And then they prolong it where you go work with psychiatrists, therapists for over a year. And I think it's a great program with the VA, post-traumatic stress. And they could do, huh? Yes, over in Kentucky. Actually, I went through it for 7 weeks. It's a great program for especially combat veterans. You know, and any veteran with for suicide, they really work with you. So that's just my thing on this, you know, because you know the 3,000, just the $5,000 for 3 veterans. That's a lot of money for a weekend for me when the VA offers the same program for veterans that's free.
What is the program difference?
Yeah, so Commissioner, as the Vice President had said, that it's a 7-week program that's outpatient based versus a 72-hour on location. You have to stay overnight. The other thing too is that the VA program obviously is through the medical center, where you have one where it's just certified counselors and in a treatment facility. That's really the biggest difference. It's just the format. The treatment is the same. It's focused on traumatic stress. It's focused on just trauma in general. I will say too that Save a Warrior has been known because a lot of the treatment is focused around other veterans coming together. So it's a lot more, you're in small groups and you're within a small cohort versus the VA program is more, it's kind of top down. It's from the clinician to the veteran.
I'd like to state here too, I am a combat veteran, and then I was rated at 50% PTSD by the VA, and the care I got from them was very good. I was seeing a psychologist once a month. They started a group with us. There were a bunch of us from Dearborn County that were close to the Dearborn clinic. And we met down there every week and talked it over with a psychologist there. We did that weekly. And I just think that the care they take for us at the VA is sufficient. From what I've seen, this group that I would belong to, it broke up during COVID there, we still try to get together every now and then at a restaurant, everyone's together.
Two questions. I wasn't on the board when this discussion occurred last year. Number one, is transportation included in this $5,000 cost, or is it on the individual to get there?
It's on the individual to get
Okay.
there.
And the second question was, what was the compelling argument? Because as I understand it, the board approved it at that time, but just tabled the payment. Is that correct? Or was it not approved?
No, it was not approved.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
when it says in her letter here that we granted $15,000 to cover, that's not correct.
Yeah, there was some confusion, is that Ms. Heller came here to present to the board, and a couple of our board members have actually gone through the program, speak very highly of it. And at that time, there was a motion put up, as we reviewed these minutes, that there was a motion put up to approve it. And then there was a subsequent motion to increase, or to table it to the next meeting. The next meeting came, there was a motion to increase it to $25,000 from $15,000. And then there was a subsequent motion made to table it to 2025. So the prevailing latest motion was to actually table the decision.
I see.
Right.
Thank
So I can understand the confusion from Ms. Heller here, because she was present at the first meeting.
I see.
Yeah.
And my thing is, you correct that. They do have an inpatient program for 7 weeks over at Fort Thomas.
Okay.
And they do follow up, and they do have groups. They got like afternoon and this, and they meet. I've been meeting with them for 7 years, and it is a follow-up program. And my thing is, I think we can tie this money up to something else. Why piggyback on something when a veteran can go to the VA hospital, and get this, and it ain't tied in just to Hamilton County, and my thing is, I'm for veterans, and anything where they gonna service, I take my hat off to first responders, but this program and money is for Hamilton County veterans. And it should be earmarked for programs for veterans, not ones that go off to your first responder. Show me how that money gonna be spent. You can't guarantee me that this $5,000 per person for a weekend, is for one veteran.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money for 72 hours. To me, I agree. Okay.
I think so too, but what I'm thinking is, how the VA has community care.
Mm-hmm.
That if there are no openings over at the Dom, that perhaps we could utilize this. But I agree that $5,000 for 3 days. You could do a whole lot with it, but
Agreed, yeah. That's good points. So, pending the decision of the board, we could, let's say Warrior know that our process has changed for requesting sponsorship ask, and they could put forward a sponsorship packet, that is not going to I mean, at that point, the way I see it is that if they were to submit a sponsorship request, then it would be capped at 2,500 per veteran, 50%. And that's if they got the full points above 90. Or it's a vote to formally disapprove this request by state parent.
I make a motion, we disapprove, say the vet program and, refer a veteran to the VA hospital, post-administration.
I second that motion just based on the experience I've had with the VA hospital.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay. Roll call, Pam.
Commissioner Hadden,
Yes.
Commissioner Parks,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Ware,
Yes.
Commissioner Welch.
Thanks, everybody. We're going into new business. I'm gonna turn the floor over to our director of committee reports.
Yes, sir. Yeah, for committee reports, we've got our.
Our committee reports, I've got this book. Wait.
Chairman. Chairman. Is that a promotion?
Welcome back.
Like you never left.
Vice President Hedden, Commissioners, thanks for the opportunity to be here. We had a great first Veterans Service Committee meeting. We had a great team, Marie Reinhardt, Cindy Tsakowski, Amber, Jenny, and Cornell. We met, we talked about our mission, which is connecting the dots. Late 2024, we had identified about 4,000 veterans we knew in Hamilton County. Right now, we're over 15,000, and it's not vetted yet, so there's probably duplicates in there, but we're in the process of vetting it, and we'll do that through the various software we're using to build our database. Our social media presence is climbing. So what we did, we talked about connecting the dots. And we're gonna do it a couple different ways. One of the things we did is we identified all the current local posts within Hamilton County. And there's a document in your packet. We'll be refining this document, and we like to respectfully request the commissioners, based on who you were appointed by, if you can help us gather information about these local posts, to include contact information, phone number, email address, etc. And also make a request that they collaborate with us and share their veteran membership information so we can load it in our database. And so it's this one here. And we'll be sending another one out that will be divided by American Legion and Vets, etc. So that would be a first step, is to identify who they are, and what we're going to do is we're going to load them into our database. We're developing a regular newsletter that we'll be sending out systematically, and that'll include all these local posts and every veteran we have within our system. So that's one piece we're working on. And what we like to ask commissioners to do is to help us. So if you're the AMVET guy or gal, if you can go to those two posts and gather the information, load it back into the spreadsheet, give it back to us, we'll take it from there. Okay. And in addition, what we'll do is, we have some collateral materials right now. We have this counter talker for our one-page flyer, and also for Appreciation Day. And our interns are now in the process of taking that out and distributing that. As we look at that, we're further enhancing this, because the other piece we're currently working on is to identify and build a database of all businesses in Hamilton County that offer veterans discounts. And they're everywhere, but nobody knows it because they have nothing to identify them. So we're gonna go out, we're gonna solicit businesses. In fact, you might pass that around. Here's an example of, well, I saw, that, Anderson, Renewal by Anderson, $300 discount for vets on top of all their other discounts. So I know Mr. Gilkey, so, I sent Mr. Gilkey an email saying, hey, no. It's my wife. There you go. Hey, no pressure, but Renewal by Anderson's offering a $300 discount. Let's catch up, let's talk about what Gilkey might like to do. So that's how we're gonna solicit those things. And our pitch is that, you know what, we're gonna put you onto our website, we're gonna drive you on our social media, we're gonna promote you and your business as somebody that supports veterans. Okay, so again, commissioners, think about who you might know that has a business that you might introduce us to. And we're gonna send you an email, and all you gotta do is click reply to all, send it to that person, leave Amber on it, and Amber will take it from there. All we want is the intro. We'll go out, we'll do the heavy lifting, we'll get them signed up, and build our database. So those are the big things we hit on. We also appreciate all of you being out and doing social outreach and speaking events and all those things, because it really does help the visibility of the Veteran Service Commission. As a wrap up, our committee is meeting quarterly. That doesn't mean we're not working in between. We're having regular communication, and our goal is to help our executive director meet his goals and objectives for a number of veterans that we've identified in Hamilton County for 2025. So with that, thanks for the opportunity to present, and if I can answer any questions, please let me know.
Bill, I'd like to talk to you at the meeting. I see my VFW post, you got some wrong information here. I want to update you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Good, perfect, thank you.
How would you like to get this information? Because I'm going this weekend for a DAV conference in Dublin, Ohio, so I can reach out to all the DAV and get it. We just started a website at my chapter 1 this week, so I'll get you the information for that and give you the number of our webmaster. But I'd like to reach out to the rest of them in Hamilton County once I get up to Dublin, Ohio. How would you like that to be done?
Amber will be sending out, we're gonna take this spreadsheet, we're gonna divide it down by entity, and then we're gonna send those spreadsheets out. Just put the information in that spreadsheet, send it back to Amber, and we'll load it in. And also, the opportunity is to now start sharing direct information with the key person of all these entities and say, hey, here's something to post on your website. Here's something to post on your social media. Because if you look at our social media, I mean, the numbers aren't big, but the percentages of increases are pretty substantial. And we're confident once we start loading this in that we can really explode this thing and really help people understand what VSC does.
And Bill, if I could have Amber also just jump in, just highlight really the growth of the social media, because what I wanted you all to see, commissioners, is how, yes, although the raw numbers are not high, I mean, we are getting our word out there just by the percentage increase. Amber?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So as you can see, we're doing great with our social media initiatives, and this information, these statistics are based off of 2 months of measurement. So this growth that you're seeing is actually 60 days of age. And then just seeing that we've jumped 39% in our followers, in our post engagement has jumped from like to 488% from 17. We're trying to be consistent with our posting. We've also attached handles to all of our email addresses. I would encourage all of us to do that, just to get people to like and follow our pages as well. So we are using technology from Hootsuite to make sure that our post is consistent across all social media channels. We've also decided to engage with Instagram, and that's a new initiative as well. So we don't have numbers for Instagram because we just started that within the last couple of weeks. But we just want to do whatever we can to increase our presence on social media.
And Amber, anything else to add on the committee meeting that you guys had?
It was a really good committee meeting. Of course, Chairman Burwinkle gave us a lot of insight on what we should be doing and what it should look like, and touch points and follow-up. And this all included, I don't know, we haven't spoken on our ERG Infinity Group initiatives, but there is a spreadsheet on there, and it's how do we engage with local organizations, Fortune 500 companies and organizations. Do they have ERG and Infinity groups that we can engage? If they do, can we assist in increasing the presence there as well? We had a meeting with Cincinnati Incorporated yesterday. They just kicked off their ERG initiative in February of this year. And they were hesitant to meet because of the amount, we already have this, we're doing this now. But when we met, majority of our meeting was questions. So what we're realizing is that even if you have an ERG or Infinity group, you don't necessarily have the internal information to share with the veterans. So that's why we want to continue to engage. And then Chairman Burwinkle gave us some touch points and follow-ups to continue our engagement at the 90-day mark of the year mark, just to be consistent with our approach and to continue to grow as well.
Thank you, Amber. I want to highlight too, Cintas. We had a virtual lunch and learn last Friday. Over 80 veteran employees of Cintas tuned into the call. They had a great presentation for not only for the veterans, but for us at the beginning, and then they gave us 20 minutes to share what our commission does. Again, follow-up questions came from veterans there, never heard of a Veteran Service Commission before. There were some veterans that were outside of Ohio that never heard of a service officer. We told them that that's non-jurisdictional. We can certainly answer their questions. So hats off to the Veteran Service.
And we had how many people on that, was there? Couple hundred?
No, on that call, I counted there was 80 that actually tuned in, but I know that they've got a staff of 500 veterans across the country.
And if my, Amber, thank you very much. If I may add one thing, I'm an older veteran, and I'm acutely aware that the Veteran Service Commission is missing a whole generation out there that we need to engage. And these ERGs, that's where we're going. So again, if you have, I'm working on the city right now. I'm working on CPD right now. If you all know somebody at a level within a corporation, and we'll send a separate email that, again, just take a reply to all, drop Amber on the CC line, we'll go get them, okay? Because we're equipped and we know how to present and engage these people, and they're sharing their information, and that's how we're going to build our database. Because we need to make sure we're bringing our young veterans into the program, because that's the future of the Veteran Service Commission. So thank you.
Another thing, word of mouth, Amber was out to Lincoln Heights for a block party, and she reached a lot of veterans, and they didn't even know nothing about Hamilton County Commission. And I mean, it's getting out there, and I got so much, I just praise her because the job she did, people were coming back, hey, Mr. Head, I didn't know that they offered that. She was had so much information for us, and not only was it for veterans, it was the veterans' family member who come and, hey, my father's a veteran, we don't know this, how can we get it? So she reached a lot of people over the weekend. And then the weekend before that, she was out in Lincoln Heights for the Memorial Day service. It was a great hit, and they thanked everyone for Hamilton County, and they thanked you for your donation and everything. It was a great thing. So the word is getting out,
Yes.
And I appreciate you, Chairman Bill and Amber, for what y'all doing. And I will get with our organizations and anybody I know in the business and CC her email. And thank you.
Mr. Henning. at this time, I'd like Ron Mitchell, actually, it's a perfect segue. So Ron, as many of you met last meeting, came to apply to be a veteran service, financial service representative under manager Jim Gronefeld. And then we quickly, as Jim and I realized, wait a second, there's not only an asset that we now have on the team, there's an unreached group, just to Bill's point, that has not been reached for a long time here in Hamilton County. Those are veterans that have interacted with the justice system. And so here we have Ron Mitchell, who's been a 30-year parole officer with Hamilton County. Not only that, more importantly, he's an Army veteran. Okay,
That's right.
So Ron,
We ain't holding it again.
I actually shifted Ron's position. So because we have Dick in financial services and he has a financial background, that's more suited for his role. For Ron, he now is our Veterans Justice Coordinator. So Ron, why don't you tell us what that role entails and how it's going to be an asset to our organization?
Good morning to the commissioners. First of all, Ron Mitchell here. And just like Orlando said, I have extensive background in the criminal justice field. I'm a state of Ohio adult parole and probation officer for over 30 years, 31 and a half years when I retired. So when Orlando called me in his office, I didn't know, maybe I was in trouble. I don't know. I was thinking I was kind of quick. I was talking to my boss, Jim, right here. He said, "Hey, Ron, I need to talk to you a minute." I'm like, "Okay, well, you're wrong now." All the rest of the office, so the boss, I was like, but it was great. He threw a pitch at me, and I
Can they see him?
No, we
Yeah,
can
we
turn
need,
you.
we need to, so.
Ron, we'll turn the camera.
Okay, yeah.
You're fine.
Okay, there we go, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, again, when Orlando called me to his office and he threw the pitch at me, and I was like, "Hey, great, because that's my field." I come from parole and probation for over 30 years, and I worked the community. Underserved, privileged community, but me and Amber had talked about Lincoln Heights and Bond Hill and Roseland, different areas. I was a parole officer. I knocked on doors and I know all this stuff. And I know veterans that I worked with that was homeless and never knew about the Veteran Commission. Never knew about it. Did not. I would have made a lot of referrals. But anyway, make a long story short, and not keep a lot of you guys' time. Was great that Jim had drew up something for me and shot me an email and gave me a direction to run with. Orlando told me, gave me the gas and put it in the car and said, "Run with it." And I said, "Okay, cool, I'm on my way. I'm ready to go." So I took Jim's email. I got with Greg Street, pretrial coordinator. We started mapping out things, how we going to attack this thing. I have a list of current veterans right now that's in Hamilton County Justice Center. Today, I will be meeting with, and this is my list. You can pass it around if you want to. And out of that, we'll be doing intake process. We have an intake sheet. I brought one with me. But and then also at the same time, I will be giving them the emergency financial assistance application. So we'll be killing 2-3 ducks at one time, hitting the ground running. And from there, tomorrow I'll run over to Judge Greenberg's courtroom, pretrial services again, meet with Greg. We got a list. We know what direction we want to go in with this. I get a chance to work with the veterans one-on-one and talk to them before they go into court and make sure they got everything they need. And then in the afternoon time, I'll be in common pleas with Judge Wagner. I'll go up to his courtroom, same thing. We'll meet prior to going to court and meet with the veterans and see anything we can do to change to try and better them. And that's what I'll be doing. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm working with Amber. I'm hitting the ground running. We got some things going on, and I'm doing outreach also at the same time at the different communities, Roseland, Bond Hill, wherever. They're gonna see us. We passing out cards, and I'm just ready. I'm excited about my new position.
Commissioner, this is exciting. I mean, this is the first commission in Ohio that's gonna have something like this. So we could be the template for the entire state for what it looks like for veteran justice initiatives.
This is so perfect.
And hats off to pretrial services, right? We're using the conference room. They're excited for this partnership. In fact, Ron's office is right behind that cubicle wall right there. So we have them embedded right here so that they're in close proximity to each other. We're excited for this, Ron, and thank you for taking the initiative.
So, are you working with reentry?
Yes, I'll be working with reentry. Absolutely. I'll be working with reentry. I'm making phone calls and finding out what we can do to better serve our veterans in the community. So I'm very familiar with the reentry program. So I remember reentry got started. I'm familiar with the veteran pod at the Justice 10 years ago when could you over
Veteran Pod.
Yeah, the veteran pod got started actually before, our current sheriff we have right now. So the prior administration actually started. I was with parole when, yes, when reentry came in and post-release control. That means the veterans, our offenders, they're here to stay. They're not just going to run them back to prison for every little minor charge. So putting all the veterans in one pod, and then we're able to go to that pod and visit them and find out what they need. I met with Charmaine McDuffie Friday at the Reds baseball game, and I told about my new position. They won. Yeah, it was 3-3 went up, but the next day they did win.
And we had an outreach booth there, right?
Yeah, we had an outreach booth. Yeah, we built up 3 pages of information given out to veterans. I was on the ground. We were running. Hey, you're a veteran. I saw a hat. I saw a pen or anything. Give me any knowledge that you're a veteran. I'm going out and I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to chase you down. And that's what we were all about. So Orlando gave me the green light to hit the ground running, and that's what I'll be doing.
Man, that's so great. I mean, for especially veterans that's in jail when they get out, so they have something to like if they homeless, they got somebody they can reach out to. Look, before they get out, they got the application. So when they get out, they got something, that they can help, find a place to stay, and maybe that'll help them not to go back in that revolving door.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Thank
That's
you,
what
man.
reentry is all about. Bring them home to stay. Give them the service they need, employment, resume writing, all the things that we want to do. We'll hand out our cards to starting today. So this will be my first visit at the Justice Center. So Charmaine McDuffie told me anything I need, just let her know. I'm hitting the ground running. I'm excited.
Thank you, man.
Now, Judge Greenberg, what is he doing now? What does he have to do?
Judge Greenberg is the municipal vet court.
Right.
Judge.
Okay, he's the veteran court.
He's Judge Court. Right.
Police court, and then Judge Wagner is for appeal.
Okay.
Actually, me and Director Orlando met with Judge Greenberg last week and told him actually what we're doing and what we're bringing to the table. And it was a great meeting last week.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Give him a shout out. Tell him I said hi.
Yeah, I will do that.
Great.
I am totally blown away with the perfect fit.
Yes.
The fact that you come from probation, the ins and outs, and it's just wow.
We broke it.
Yes.
So good luck.
Yeah.
Blessings. And
I think it's a little better than the financials. Time to jump. You wasn't
If you remember when we went to Stark County, they had a liaison program with
Yes.
the county sheriff there.
yes.
So we talked about that, and we recognized Ron would be a perfect fit to go well beyond that program in Stark County.
This is
Jim, why don't you share with them right now what your team is looking to do for financial?
Okay,
You're gonna love this. Okay?
Another segue, we recently paid for credit counseling certification for all of our staff in the financial services department. So we will all be certified credit counselors, hopefully by October 1st. That's my goal. And not just people who seek assistance, but we're going to offer credit counseling to veterans in the community on an ongoing basis. So it'll be a service that we provide, not just to people who need assistance, but hopefully we can kind of be a little more proactive and help people avoid seeking assistance by offering credit counseling. And as you all know, on my background, I was a financial advisor, and we're going to get Dick and Doreen certified as credit counselors. We also have a slot for Cornell as our self-sufficient. So we'll be able to offer those services as well.
He wrote it.
He wrote again.
Yeah, we really are. And I mean, I work very closely with Ron. I mean, I've talked with Amber. I mean, we can see somebody going from, a minor infraction, they get out of jail, we offer them financial assistance, get them on their feet. We take them over to OMJ, they can get resume training, job referrals. We can get them to HUD-VASH, they can get housing. They'll have everything they need, hopefully within 30 days, to be self-sufficient and
eventually buy it.
yeah,
That's
productive members of society and, So, and that's exactly what we're here for. So we're all excited about what Ron's doing, especially in our group, because we're gonna work very closely with these people to get out.
It really is. You know, I look at where we was when I walked in this board and where we at now. I mean, if somebody would have told me that, I would say, man, you crazy. But we are really, really rolling, and the word is out with this organization with us. You know, they come down. I had a guy, we was at the VA, and the guy needed a DD 214. They was giving the runaround. I asked him, I said, hey, have you ever had a sister? Well, he said, yeah. Gave him Pam number. Pam told him to come down. He got his DD 214. He came back to the VA and thanked me. He said, I never would have thought that. He said, man, they keep, and he said, they ain't like they used to be. You know, and that's just saying how your staff, you and your staff have came up and brought this program to a higher standard. And thank you.
Thank you to the team, yes. Amber, just a quick update on Appreciation Day. How are we doing on?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Getting under contract with the bands, vendors, food trucks, everything is rolling and it's looking really nice. I don't know if you have any questions, but last I checked, we had 72 confirmed vendors. But I'll be honest, as we're getting out in the community, I tend to invite more people like, hey, you want to be a vendor? We learned about the forum I went to yesterday.
Yeah, Block Ministries,
Right
Therapy, Equine Therapy Center right in Price Hill
in Price Hill.
for veterans.
You wouldn't even think it was there. So I invited them to join. A lot of different organizations that we're engaging with. So we will definitely have 100. We may have a couple more, but our planning is underway and everything's looking good.
So, you know, the preseason schedule came out for the Bengals. Their game against the Colts is on the same day as their Appreciation Day. The game starts at 1. Our event starts from 2 to 10 p.m. So reached out to my contacts at the Bengals. I spoke to Vice President Troy Blackbird, who then called his Chief Partnership Officer. We're now on the way to becoming the exclusive military partner of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Right.
So what they're going to do is they're going to highlight our event starting on August 10th, leading up to August 23rd. They're just going to push our event. And then at the game, they're going to push the event so that people after the game can come down Sawyer Point and enjoy the free activities and free food. On top of that as well, FC Cincinnati also has a game that day. So we reached out to FC Cincinnati. We are now the exclusive military veteran partner of FC Cincinnati. We can put official partner of FC Cincinnati on all of our logos. They're going to bring their mascot down to Sawyer Point. There's an activation on July 5th at their game. Washington Park is going to be packed. We're going to have a giant booth there where people are going to be able to come and check us out.
What's the date of that?
July 5th. July 5th. And then on August 23rd, they're going to pump up the Appreciation Day at the game so that folks can come down to the game as well. So,
how's the registration coming? Do y'all know,
do we have latest numbers on
We
registration?
don't have the latest numbers.
We
I
can
know
get that for
we
you,
can. I think it was
No, I'm just saying,
Which is what live we could do.
Yeah,
Right, so,
yeah,
But even with that, it was slightly under the 400 mark,
yeah.
and that's wouldn't it be allowed for.
Because a lot of people didn't, I gave the card, they didn't understand how to get on,
Okay.
and do everything. So the best way would be either scan this or
Correct.
go on this website to
Absolutely.
register. Okay.
It's all live links. Even the flyers on our website are live links that will take you directly to registration. But even as we're out in the community, we're actually helping people to register for not only for our newsletter, but also for our appreciation.
Oh, great.
We're just hiring a lot. I mean, outreach is really killing it. So I want to also mention here that thanks to Chairman Burwinkle's connections as well, we're now the exclusive partner to the Cincinnati Museum Center, military partner for the Museum Center. Any military displays, any military IMAX shows will now say sponsored by the Veteran Service Commission of Hamilton County. There was a 1940s day in September. They convert the entire terminal to 1940s memorabilia. They have people that show up in 1940s gear that will now say across billboards, sponsored by the Veteran Service Commission of Hamilton County.
Great.
We have 500 tickets that we can give out to veterans in Hamilton County that can come with their family to the Cincinnati Museum Center for free. So we're getting the word out there.
Now, another thing on the Military and Veterans Appreciation Day on the parking. Could you elaborate on that? Because
Yes.
it's gonna be kind of a conflict.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Transportation Manager Jim Massey doing a great job of transportation. Our new driver, Jerry Coleman. Jerry Coleman started on Friday last week, full-time driver. He's been driving for a logistics company for years now. His hours were from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. We get better hours. So Jerry's picking up our very first veteran to their VA medical appointment, literally as we speak, 10 o'clock. And Craig McKee from Channel 9, one of his last home front segments, is going to be highlighting that transportation service. So he's there with the camera crew, interviewing Jerry and James. So for Appreciation Day, James has updated me that we now have access to the go ahead, Amber.
Oh, no,
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, we have access to 4 Metro, full-size buses. So if we have to do the parking ride, we will utilize those buses. They will be wrapped, of course, with our logo.
The parking lots?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are purchasing parking as well as having access to the JFS Park House garage. And then those lots along Eggleston, he's in contact with those owners as well for parking. And then, like I said, we'll utilize our van and the 4 Metros that we have access to transport the veterans back and forth.
So there's 600 lots at Sawyer Point, Medio Sawyer Point. Because of the game, the stadium's parking lot won't be accessible until after the game. But then we have 600 lots at a paid lot that they're going to reduce to $5 per space, right next to Sawyer Point. That's kind of our backup. We'd like to try to get free parking first and just utilize Metro. So JFS has, I think, 600 lots there as well. So James is now reaching out to the casino. The casino originally said no. And then we found out you don't even own the lots. So we're going to the owner of the casino and confirming with them whether they'll allow us.
Have you reached out to the VA? So you got buses, you know, it's on a Saturday, you got all that free space at the VA hospital, you know, and you can have a Metro bus going down, you know, that could be another thing, just to start, you know.
That's
go
great.
out.
We have considered those park and ride options, Vice President, there as well as Cincinnati State is an option, but we're just trying to stay as close to the event as possible. But then we know that we have that option as well, but that's because that's the same distance as our new location at Mercy Health, so those would be options as well. But those are 13 to 15 minutes from the.
We also have the Kroger lot that we're looking into as well, that will most likely be paid. So we're trying to get free parking spots before we do paid service.
And another thing, throw out the VIP parking for the commissioners and your staff, would they be parking right at Sawyer Point? How would that work?
Well, we were thinking to have you schlep from the stadium. Well, we'll get that. Well, yes, yeah. Leave your seat last. Come on. Come on. We'll get that.
Okay.
We'll make sure it's.
Yeah.
Transportation, you got your little. There. So that's it. That's it for now.
What about the sponsorship
Yes, sir.
requests?
So we have one sponsorship request. That's from our sister entity on the nonprofit side, Easter Seals Redwood. They're asking for support for their upcoming honor ride. We attended the honor ride last year. We supported the honor ride last year. Huge event. They have lots of veterans that show up. So this is, again, a joint partnership with them. We'll be able to have a booth. We'll be able to speak on the work of the Veteran Service Commission, spread the word. Their total expenditure is $56,775. So they're asking for support up to the $10,000 max. Amber and I have looked at this. It meets all our criteria. They're located in Hamilton County. They're focused on Hamilton County veterans. Asking the board to support a $10,000 sponsorship request. I do want to flag this honor ride is happening 8:30 a.m. August 23rd on our Appreciation Day event, but we'll be able to still support because our event doesn't start until 2.
What's your recommendation?
Recommend we approve for up to 10,000.
Any questions on that? Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion to sponsor Easter Seals riding event. So moved. Second. Been moved and second. This is for $10,000. Any more questions?
Worthy.
Any more questions, anything? Okay, roll call. Pam?
Commissioner Hadden?
Yes.
Commissioner Parks?
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland?
Yeah.
Commissioner Ware?
Yes.
Commissioner What, oops. Commissioner Welling?
Moving on, real good.
Thank you. Dan. Can you read this?
Or yeah.
I man, got me walking.
Yeah. We're gonna do it before.
Shake and get the word walking for that. Who's on, Commissioner and Director's update? Okay, turn it back over to the Director.
Commissioner, just a couple updates here. Reminder that there is the upcoming summer session for commissioner training up in Columbus. That's July 25th through the 27th. Ride the Friday night and then depart Sunday. The main events really happen Saturday for the training and the keynote speaker and the district breakout groups. Commissioner, we're trying to get confirmation whether that's new commissioner training as well on that Friday. It might be in the fall, but we'll clarify.
It's November.
Is it
Yeah, the
November?
schedule that I had November
Okay,
21st as
so-
new commissioner
okay,
training.
yeah.
Yes.
November.
Okay, so November,
Yes.
yeah. And then Commissioner Brightfelder will join for that one in November as well. So there's that.
Yeah, and one thing, when you go to these and you sign in, be sure you sign out.
Yeah.
Cause
Very confusing.
it caused a problem for us
Yeah.
before. So I'm just, throwing that out. When you go to a conference, you have to sign in and be sure you sign out,
Right.
cause it's different.
So that Friday also will be our Veteran Service Officer Summer Training. So our VSOs that have taken the test and are accredited or on the way to accreditation will be there that Friday. That's also, that week starts the Ohio State Fair. So what we're looking to do, ODBS reached out to us asking the Veteran Service Commissions if they wanted to come and put a booth out. We will have a booth out there for Hamilton County. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a team that's gonna show up and support the fair Thursday prior to their training. And then the other half of the team will support a Saturday booth. So they'll be there for 2 days, depending on the team. So that's going on as well. Question there?
Do you have the information for hotel? Cause you need to register.
I think we're ready.
We already, got it, okay.
She books them
Yeah,
right after the last one.
January.
okay, so we don't have no problem with that. I was just thinking.
We're good to go.
Other
Good to
ones,
go.
up there, we had a problem with.
Yes. Commissioners, I want to highlight this organization here. I don't know if you're familiar with the Quality Inn that's on the East End. That has been converted to where one floor is veteran only. So they just got approved to be a HUD-VASH facility. So veterans can actually stay at the Quality Inn in a veteran-only floor, singles only, but veteran only, and they get vouchers. So the outreach team, Amber and Jim and I yesterday went out and visited. It's an amazing facility.
We're gonna it down off of 7th Street.
Right there across
Right,
the White
right.
House.
Yeah, on 7th Street.
Yes,
Okay,
and
great.
so actually Channel 9 just did a segment a couple months ago highlighting this. I mean, this is unheard of, to have a facility like this in close proximity right in downtown, and they're only growing. So the owner actually flew down to meet with us. Mr. Rakesh said that if there is a need, and HUD-VASH said that there is a need, there's 120 veterans that are right now waiting for a space. They're prepared to convert this to a veteran-only entire facility,
Really?
240 rooms.
So how many spaces do they occupy now?
Right now, it's an entire floor that I would say
Maybe 40 rooms or something like
like
that.
20 or so
I think
rooms.
20.
Yeah.
Right, so that's 6th floor. It's operating as a hotel. I mean, there are other guests that are there, but the 6th floor is veteran only. They showed us, I mean, again, they're treating the veterans right. There's actually an on-the-ground liaison with the VA whose office is right on the floor that liaises with the VA and these veterans. We met Miss Tiffany yesterday. Shelter House also came. They sent a lot of veterans here. So what does this mean for us? If we have a veteran that is homeless and they need a place to stay and they are waiting for their HUD-VASH approval, we can support through financial assistance department them to stay at this hotel.
Now, how long can they stay there? you know.
They can stay there,
For as long as they want.
yeah, on an ongoing basis. They do transitional housing as well as long-term.
They feed them breakfast. AMVETS was there for a coffee community session. They come out weekly. So what I'd like to do is actually schedule a walkthrough.
That'd be great.
They would love to do that, just to see the potential for the space and really how we can continue to further our collaboration with them. I'm gonna pass this around. Great location. Warren County Treatment Court, Veterans Treatment Court, Judge Tim Teep actually came down yesterday because he's thinking of sending some of his veterans through treatment court down to Cincinnati to stay there for treatment. So
From where?
from Warren County, yeah, because they don't have a place. The need is this, and you know, Ron knows this. The veterans that are going through the Veterans Treatment Court or specialized docket, a lot of them are overcoming addiction. Well, if a judge wants to impose a sentence, the places that are accessible right now are only for those that are overcoming addiction. So where does he send them to? Where does he or she send them to so that he can impose a sentence, a probationary sentence, and also get treatment? Well, it's a facility like this, and there's no facility like that up north. So there's folks that are sending veterans down here to Cincinnati, and that's 5 minutes away from us. So
I think they're gonna have to up it more than 20 rooms,
Oh,
though, you know, and that's great, I mean, you know.
So
we'll schedule a walkthrough.
this hotel must be under new ownership.
I'm sorry.
It must be under new ownership.
So apparently it's the same owner from the last 10 years. And they've seen in the last 10 years how that area has changed to where it really can't function ideally as an hotel anymore. So they hired, what's new is the management. The manager that's there, his name is Toby. He got brought on a few years ago, who comes from a senior living center background. And then also got in contact with the veteran community and realized that, no, that's where the need is. It's supporting veterans. So that, and Toby really is the one who's been the catalyst for this new initiative. So, yeah, super great. Yeah. Last thing, cell phones. So I told you last board meeting, commissioners, that trying to get cell phones for all the staff, so they're keeping all their business on a business phone line, especially if they have to work from home on occasion. We just got that. So we signed a contract that on a government rate for 20 phones, it's only $800 a month, and the phone is free. So, and if we need to order more, then we'll do that. But the team will now have business phones.
Who's the service provider?
Verizon.
Okay.
That's great. All right.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
Pam, do you have anything?
I don't think so.
Okay,
You are.
Mr. Ware, come on. You have anything, better nothing? I'm glad, good.
We had information in our packets about what was sensitive.
So it was
Is
just
that covered under the
that.
dairy?
So that was.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. I thought that was an
So
action.
this was an example of a veteran site who
Got it.
does not have a silver star. If we didn't take this on, he couldn't go
He
in.
couldn't.
Because he wasn't, the person who reached out to us is not a family member, so he wouldn't have been able to get VA assistance. But now with this veteran cemetery program, we can assist him.
I mean,
I did have something. I would like to pass some of these out when I go to the VA. Some of these cats sitting around there that don't know
Yes.
anything about what we're doing, just pass it out. So,
Yeah, if you need a stack, we just ordered 3,000 more, so.
okay,
Okay.
I like to get some of them.
we definitely need more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these.
I was at the VFW 1038 golf outing last week and passed out hundreds of these. Every foursome on hole 17 members got this card.
Awesome.
Parks, you have anything to discuss?
I do.
No, thank you. Okay. Yours.
Yeah, I just, one comment here, I saw Orlando get his digs in when you introduced another Navy guy here, and, I'd just like to remind you of something I sent back when the Army-Navy game was won. It was not the score, but it is a saying that applies to everybody, no matter what service you served in. Remember that when you watch this game, everybody playing is willing to die for everybody watching.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you.
And it was the same with what we took on when we went in service.
Don't leave her hanging. Gary.
Yeah.
Well said.
Okay.
Okay.
And then he highlighted the score, so then.
And we need you.
Yeah, this time around.
Yeah, my thing is that we are rolling, and I would like to see, the Hamilton County Commission, take on, a coffee at the VA in the morning.
Yes.
And, to look into that, where you do a coffee hour, you know, you got DAV doing it, you got other places, and it would emphasize what Lincoln says about this. You're right, a lot of veterans at the VA hospital don't know nothing
They're
about
just
it.
sitting up there waiting for their appointment, and
Yeah.
they don't have any idea.
Right.
And then the service officers, you know, they stand around and it irritates me that these workers is sitting there doing nothing. The lady, they got a window there now where they don't have to knock on the door. She sit there and they stand there and they sitting out there waiting and nobody say nothing to them. So when we get coffee, DAV, I give them a card for paying. You know, go down there, we got service officers, you just can't walk in, call and get an appointment. And you ain't got to go through what you're going through now, because they be aggravated and they shouldn't have to go through that. So I would like to see us go up and do a coffee hour once a month or maybe twice a month. And you ain't got to do the coffee, the VA gives you the coffee, you just have to have the manpower. And then maybe you can have a couple VSOs up there helping out veterans, or, you know, giving them what they need to do, or come make appointment to come down here. So I'd like to see that happen.
Yes, sir. We'll get them.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if there's no more discussion with Commissioner, I'd like to go in executive session to review emergency financial assistance application for a period of 5/1/2025 through 5/31/2025 in pursuit to ORC 121-22J and 5901.9C to consider appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of a public employee or official pursuit of ORC 121.22G1.
So moved.
I'm there. I know, she's good. Motion, go in. She moved. I need a second.
Second.
It's been second, Pam. roll
Who's
call.
second? Commissioner Hedden,
Yes.
Commissioner Parks,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland, Commissioner Ware,
Yes.
Commissioner Welling.
Yes.
Can I get a motion to come back into regular meeting? No need, okay. 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 Now, turn it over to Glenn.
Oh, is everybody here?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'd like to move that effective July 1, 2025, that we increase the executive director's salary to $155,000.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Pam.
Commissioner Hedden,
Double yes.
Commissioner Parks,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Ware,
Yes.
Commissioner Welling.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, well deserved, well deserved. You,
That motion. Yes, relative to the request for an extended stay, I'd like to move that we grant the request not to exceed 30 days to pay actual expenses up to, but not exceeding, $7,500.
Second.
moved to second, any questions? Any questions? Roll call, Pam.
Commissioner Hedden,
Yes.
Commissioner Parks,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Ware,
Yes.
Commissioner Welling.
Okay, the next meeting will be July 9th.
Yes.
There's usually a motion with regard to the rest of the financial report.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Motion for the rest of the financial report
To approve.
to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Move in second. Any questions? Roll call, ma'am.
Commissioner Hadden?
Yes.
Commissioner Parks?
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland?
Yes.
Commissioner Ware?
Yes.
Commissioner Wells?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Yeah, 2 seconds there, who wants to second? Our next meeting is
So I,
July 9th.
I looked it up,
I did.
laid it out.
Right here.
You all.